right, I am back live. I've got my bee suit on. I'm gonna get a bee box and I'll take you a little closer and see if you guys can get up close enough so you guys can see what I'm doing. Sorry about the random pop-up lives. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see it. Okay, I think you guys can see the cluster of bees that is down there. Can you see it? Maybe move you down just a pinch more. Okay, I'm gonna grab a bee box and let you guys watch the bees for me, and we'll get these bees in a box hopefully. All right, so I've got the bottom board and the box. And what I want to do is I want to try to center it underneath the cluster as well as I can and kind of get it? I didn't mean it like that, but have it be balanced as well as you can. Okay, there's that. And then I've got my frames. I'm gonna go grab a few more frames. This right here is called a hive tool. You'll wanna have one of these for taking the frames apart. There's a glue substance that honeybees make. There's some grass on there. The dark kind of orangey yellow stuff that's on the top is kind of like a bee glue. It's called propolis. And if you can get propolis, it's very useful and beneficial for your health. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Okay, so these are the frames that you put in. Some people use, I use plastic ones because I can wash them. They have wooden framed ones. Some people like those, but to me, they tend to crack more and make it harder to pry them out when you need to, for me anyways. And the bees will clean up anything in a hive. This hive's been previously occupied by bees before. So they'll clean up what they don't want and they'll make it their own if they decide to stay. So I'm getting the box centered on the platform on the bottom, and the cluster is pretty well centered underneath the bee cluster that's there on the blackberry bush there. So now I have to be careful about shaking the blackberry because it's very thorny. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake it and they'll all drop down onto the box, and then they'll be kind of crazy and whatever. And hopefully the queen drops in there. If the queen drops in there, then everybody will go in there. I'll put a lid on after a couple of minutes and watch it, observe it for a little while and see. All right. So I don't stab myself with these blackberries, I gotta be careful. And to grab the right part that I need to shake, let's see. Okay, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ta-da! So some of them landed on the ground. The mass majority of them are on the top. So hopefully they go in there. I did bring a little bottle of honey from last year outside. I'm gonna pour a little bit on there. They've got some old comb and stuff like that, but I wanna entice them a little bit more to wanna stay. So I'm just gonna put some on the tops, not on, well, I'm gonna try not to get any on the actual bees. But but they'll just lick each other off and clean each other up if they get honey on each other. All right, not too much, just a little bit on the back end of this hive. The other end is where the entrance is, where they can go in and out. I've got a few little bees on me, checking me out because I've got probably some honey and some bee pheromones and stuff like that all over my suit. Probably some bee poop, bee pee, you know. So it looks like, if you guys can see, the bees on the ground are climbing up the box. So that's kind of a good sign, maybe meaning that the queen is in the box. You can examine the bees to see if maybe you can find the queen. The queen is really hard to find. But yeah, it's a really cool process. I'm gonna go get the lid. All right, so I'm gonna kneel down and I'm gonna try to not kneel on bees. I see one. Watch out, I don't want to get you smashed by my big ginormous body. Plus I don't want to get stung on the knees. Okay, so this is the top lid. This is called the inner cover lid. And so if I set it down gently, hopefully they will move out of the way. I should have brought my there's a like a brush that's a soft, big, huge brush that you can brush them in. I didn't grab it, I didn't think about it, and it's kind of like too late to do it. That's okay. So I'm just kind of holding the lid up a little bit, hoping that they'll move out of the way so I can put it down. I'm not smashing them, I'm just kind of trying to move them off the edge. Go on. I don't want to smash you guys. Okay, it's going down. Everybody who's in the way better move. Okay, so did you know that the drone bees are the male bees? Drone bees are the only male bees in a hive, and their sole purpose is just to find a queen when it's mating season, and then they don't survive after they get to mate if they do. They're spoiled. They do not collect nectar or pollen or anything. They just get to live in the hive and eat, and a lot of times in the winter, they will be kicked out of the hive because, not all of them, but most of them, because the reason they get kicked out of the hive is because the overwinter bees reduce in size, so they cluster together to keep warm during the winter months. See, come here. Come on. So most of them are worker bees. They all have different jobs. They have ones that guard like the tunnel, like the entrances, and ones that take care of the baby larvae, ones that take care of the queen. Like they all have jobs. So, all right, you guys are gonna have to go. Oh. Come on. There you go. I'm sure I have all kinds of stuff all over me, but that happens, right? See it. Okay. But they're kind of clustering right there on that outside. There's no opening. They're just probably a little bit confused on what they're supposed to do. But they do like pheromones, and they also do like little bee dances. Like their buzzing helps tell them what they need to do. So this might be a good bee for you guys. Here. So that, I call that the front porch down there on the bottom, and they can go underneath there. And it looks like if you watch the movement of them, sometimes they stick their bottom up in the air and they wiggle it. And that's kind of like, hey, the queen is here, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. But also if you watch and you notice a lot of them going in that entrance on the front there, that means the queen's in there. So yeah, I see a couple of them doing little bee dances on the front porch, the little front stoop down there. And if you look closely, you can see they have the little pollen pockets on the back of their legs. They take that with them when they swarm. So that way when they get to their new place that they're going, they have some stuff to start building up to make some more everything, you know, the comb and all the stuff, the babies, stuff to eat off of. But yeah, the drones, those are the only males in a hive, and they're huge. Like the one right there on the corner, oh, it moved. They're ginormous, and they have big, huge eyes. But they can't sting either. Their sole purpose is just finding a queen in the spring and getting a chance to hopefully be able to mate. And they mate with a queen outside of their own hive. I guess it's kind of a genetics thing. And typically bees will only fly a 3 to 5 mile radius from wherever their hive is to collect food. So if you can provide as much as you can, if you keep bees. If you don't keep bees, grow flowers anyways. Not only for the honeybees, but you know, there's so many different kinds of bees, so many different kind of bumblebee. Did you know that some of the ginormous big bumblebees actually collect pollen and make some honey as well? And they live in the ground, but they don't make a whole lot of honey. It's just a very small bit to keep them going through the winter. It's nothing near what the honeybees make, which is weird because they're so huge. You would think that it would be like, you know, Pooh Bear's honey pot times like 100, you know. But you've got mason bees. We have some mason bees. They come out early spring and they just pollinate. They don't sting either. And they like to live in like little tubes, like little circle tubed things. But everybody minds their own business. I see, you know, honeybees, wasps, yellow jackets, bumblebees, and everything, you know, around the same flowers, same water, you know. It just becomes a problem when the other kind goes to their home and tries to get in their home. Then that's a problem. Even other honeybees that don't belong to the swarm, if they try to go in to this hive, they won't let them. This is their hive. They know the scent of their queen, and they follow her and stay with her. And she usually stays in there unless she needs to go out for mating, and they only mate, you know, like once a year. So it looks like the cluster that's right there on the side of the box is getting smaller, so that means they're moving in there, and they're still, let's see. Yeah, there's nobody left on the blackberry vine. I mean, there's a few little stragglers here and there, but yeah, I think that was a success. Very, very cool. Thank you guys for joining me. I did make a very short, like 5 or 6 minute live of what the swarm looked like. And I kind of talked to you a little bit about, you know, what was going on in that. And then I had to hurry up and get my bee suit on because I don't know if you call me a chicken or what, but I don't want to get stung. But having this many bees on my property, extra bees, I mean, most places have bees anyways, but I've only been stung 5 times in the last 6 years that I've been collecting bees, and half of them was me just walking in like sandals in the grass, and I accidentally stepped on, and it might not even have been a honeybee all the times. Could have been any kind of bee. So it does get sweaty inside the suit though. I feel like I'm echoing. I'm echoing! Echo! Echo! Woo! Sorry, had to. Sometimes I amaze myself with my goofiness. I don't know who's all in here. Hi, Nancy. It's hard to see through my my veil. I can't see. Karen. Shift Kicker, hi. Yeah, I thought I would film it live. I was gonna do a video, but I think live is kind of fun. I don't know. So yeah, that's swarm number 4 for me. My first swarm left after a few hours. So I decided to put like just a little bit of honey on top of the frames on the back end just to give them a little healthy snack incentive to want to stay. So, and I've got 2 other boxes sitting on the ground. One in the middle of my raspberries, one right next to you guys on by the tripod, and then that one. I have to have help moving them over. We've got cinder blocks over in the bee apiary that we set them on, so they're not directly on the ground. But I have to have help lifting them because it does get quite heavy just with the bees in the box. Plus the pieces separate from the bottom baseboard and the box, and I don't want to drop them, you know. So I have my husband help me carry them over and set them up, you know. So they're fine like they are right now. They're able to go out and get water and forage the flowers and trees and all the things that they want. It's kind of interesting, like when I'm not looking at the phone and seeing people talking. It seems like I'm talking to myself, but I'm not. I've got a bee right there on my heart. I don't even know if that's my heart, but there's a bee right there. So yeah, they're calming down, and it seems like they're all going in. I mean, look at that cluster now compared to what, a couple minutes ago when I said something. And if you look down on a little front porch area and you see their wings going really fast and some of their bottoms go sticking up in the air, they're like, hey everybody, the queen is in the box, come on. Is that cool? I think it's really cool. Why did I get into beekeeping? That's a good question I'm asking for someone. I just decided I wanted to. I wasn't really ever really around bees or anything, and I'm not one of those people that like will hold bees like for fun. I mean, I like looking at them and stuff for fun, but like, you know, I don't know. I just thought it would be nice to be able to have some honey and maybe help some bees, you know, make it in the world today. We don't use any sprays or chemicals of any sort on our property. And I try to plant as many flowers and I don't know, berries and fruits and whatever I can to hopefully give them more stuff to eat and survive better. Lots of herbs. I think herbs are good things to have around too. So yeah, it looks like the ones that are outside are dwindling down and moving on in. Moving on up. That was a good movie. I shouldn't sing the whole thing. I might get in trouble from the tubies. So, yeah. So that's that. I'm like all crooked and everything. If you do beekeeping with somebody or yourself, make sure your shield isn't pressed against your face. I got stung on the chin once. That wasn't fun. Hi there, welcome everybody. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I made a little short that's like 5 or 6 minutes live that I did just before this, watching the swarm come in and kind of talking about some of the things that were happening in that. So that was, you know, that was kind of cool. So, and then now you see that hopefully they'll stay. It's supposed to rain, I think, for the next couple of days here in Northwest Oregon. So I think they're gonna like it. There's some old comb in there that they'll like, that they can build off of. And I gave them a little honey in there for some extra treat. So yeah, so it's fun. I like it, but I need some more. I've got one more bottom board and box that I can get one more swarm, and then I need more supplies. So yeah, it's cool. So hopefully sometimes the first year that I got bees, we ordered our bees and we got so much honey. We got like 2 5-gallon buckets full of honey, and usually the first year you have bees, you have to wait until the next year to actually get honey. So we'll see. Sometimes some of the bigger hives will make honey. It just depends upon how active they are and how many bees they make. So we'll see what happens. It's pretty exciting though. So yeah. Yeah. So happy Friday, everybody. I hope that you're doing something amazing today. Yeah, look at that. Now see, look on the side. I don't know if I'm pointing right. There's hardly any of the bees left to go inside now. Pretty exciting, huh? So honeybees don't like to sting you, because once they do, their life isn't, their life is over then at that point. They're not like yellow jackets and wasps where they can repeatedly sting you. So just a little thing to know about honeybees. So there it is. See that giant one? That giant one is a drone. I don't know. Oh, he went inside. He said, hey, is there something for me to eat in there? You gain a lot of weight if you had too much honey. Yeah. You like it when you don't have it very often. And there's a huge difference in, oh my gosh, so I was part of the a bee club in my county. And so we did a honey tasting, and the lady that was like the president of the bee club, she had everybody bring their honey in, and she put them in little paper containers, and she numbered the bottom of the container before she put our honey in. Nobody saw whose honey it was. And then we all got a piece of paper, and we had like a little, like, you know, those ice cream spoon, those little wooden ice cream spoons. We would dip it in, and we'd go and taste all the different samples, and we'd write down, like, she numbered the paper, so you wrote down what you thought of number 1, what you thought of number 2, and went down. I think there was like, I don't know, somewhere between 35 and 40 different honey from different places, and mine won best tasting honey, which was really cool. I was like, yay, that's cool. So my bees get a lot of who knows what, but I have a lot of lavender, a lot of herbs, I have fruit trees, you know, they have lots of dandelions and things like that. So you never know. Hi, Jamie. Yeah, I just put the bees in the box. I decided just to make a live while I did that. So there you have it. There's like only a few of them left to go in the box, so that's pretty cool. So that's the newest swarm catch. This one's from the other day. The ones that were on the on this post, actually. So the bees that come to my farm usually come to a couple of the same areas. And then right over there was one that I caught several days ago, and they're still sitting on the ground because I need to get my husband to help me move them into place, which is some cinder blocks. So, but they're fine. There's nothing wrong with it. We'll get them moved. It's not like a major hurry up rush type thing that has to happen. So I guess that's about it. That's all the excitement here today. I was trying to get a project done. I'm trying to get for a new raised bed herb box all prepped, and I was working on that, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not doing that. So yeah, but so that's that. Usually I put a baseball cap on too to keep my hood from wobbling around too much, but I was in a rush. So anyways, I'm gonna go get this suit off. I'm hot, it's steamy. Thank you so very much. Hi P&J, let's see if I can see the unknown. I can't, sorry you guys, I can't see through the screen. Anyways, thank you, have an amazing Friday. And you never know, if my cows go into labor, that might be a random pop-up live as well. So I just don't know exactly when that'll happen. But thank you so much for joining me and getting to see how I bee wrangle. I don't know if that's a thing, but maybe it is. Thank you so much. You guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you again.